Americans have been extremely generous and supportive of Ukraine. One Alabama pastor made it his mission to get to Moldova, where he is helping with humanitarian efforts in that nation. Thousands of refugees pouring into the country, all in need of shelter and meals. And Pastor Josh Lilly of First Baptist Church of Robertsdale is joining us live right now on television. Good morning to you.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us from Moldova. First off, was it difficult getting there?
No, not so difficult getting there. And I'm actually back home. I got home on Saturday, but getting back home was a bit more difficult than getting in.
So for you, what is the biggest need so far?
So what we were working while we were there is just trying to get food into our partners in Ukraine. Our church has been positioned in a unique position where we have partners in Moldova and partners in Ukraine. And where our partners live in Ukraine, the fighting has not come to their streets yet, but they are feeling the economic impact of it. So finding food is a very difficult situation for them. So we work with our partners in Moldova to drive to the border several times and make a food drop to our friends in Ukraine so they can take that home and be able to feed their community.
When you say a food drop, what does that look like with all of the difficulty of crossing that border?
Yeah, so we go to the metro in Moldova, which is equivalent to a Sam's Club here in the U.S. or a Costco, and we just stack food as high as we can in a van. And then we get down to the border, and we've had a lot of favor at the border. You know, we are working there as volunteers. We put the yellow vest on, and they pretty well kind of let us go where we need to. So they let us go all the way through to the Ukraine side, because our Ukrainian friends are young males, so they cannot leave the country. And then we make that food drop on the Ukrainian side.
What city in Ukraine are you nearest to in Moldova? We've talked to people who are in Poland and Romania, but you're right there along the southwestern border with the country, right?
Yes, we've been staying in Chisinau, so that's the capital city of Moldova, and it's about a 2.5-hour drive to get to the border crossing. It's Palanca is the border crossing that we've been working out of.
And do you think you know how much food you've delivered?
I know I've spent between $15,000 and $20,000. I don't know the equivalent to poundage of food, but it's been a lot.
Who's funding this?
Our local people, our local churches in South Alabama, where we live. Our church people have been amazing and how generous they've been. Other churches in our area have been amazing as they continually send checks to our church as they know we have avenues to help. So it's just normal, everyday people. That's who's supporting the work that we're doing.
It's really phenomenal to hear the heart of folks a world away doing what they can. I know that for me, and a lot of people I've talked to, you see this war close up and personal on social media and online in a way that perhaps we haven't seen war before. But you're right there, crossing the border and going into another nation and seeing the refugees. What's something that you would want us to know, those who haven't been able to do what you've done and go abroad?
Yeah, man, it's been amazing to see just the spirit of the Ukrainian people and also the spirit of the Moldovan people. Moldova is one of the poorest countries in Europe, but even without our funds before we got there, they were already meeting people at the border and just taking care of their neighbors. And just the spirit and fight of the Ukrainian people. It'd be so easy just to throw a pity party and worry about yourself, but they're just, our partners, they're just continually serving other people. They're not just getting food to the church, but they're bagging the food, they're boxing the food, they're taking it to the elderly, the people who can't get out. So it's just amazing to see, we see one of the worst sides of humanity in this, but at the same time, you're getting to see one of the best sides of humanity as well, as people just love and take care of each other.
Thank you so much for watching. Make sure to click on the red subscribe button below so you can get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.